Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. I'm thrilled that we have Christine here with us. She's a business strategist and copywriter, and really involved in helping you get your business up and running and get more sales in your business. So, Christine, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you so much for having me, Tony. My name is Christine. And like Tony said, I help people communicate what makes them different, unique, and valuable to whatever marketplace they are trying to enter. So I started my career in B2B software sales. Did not mean to go into that field. I was an English major in college, but you know, just needed something that was going to pay the bills. So I got into sales and I was doing heavy phone sales. I did that for the majority of my 20s, actually. And then in 2019, right around the time I was turning 30, I decided I really wanted to go out on my own, do my own thing, become an entrepreneur. I really hated being employed as a W-2 employee. So I switched over to the marketing side and I became a freelance copywriter. And from there, I worked for, again, B2B software companies, enterprise level, helping them create content, messaging, websites, blog posts. So it was interesting because I made that switch from selling in person to helping companies sell through their written materials online. And then in 2021, I launched my own course, my own digital product and templates, helping service-based businesses make that similar transition. So for anyone who is in a corporate 9 to 5 job but has a dream of doing their own thing, offering creative services or any service, I help them communicate what makes them different so that they can land clients, replace their 9 to 5 income, and really pursue that dream the exact way that I did in 2019. And I do that through a 5 step framework within my course. But yeah, if I had to summarize the through line or what really ties all of these different experiences together, is that I help people know what to say. I help people communicate because I think we all know what makes us special and how we can bring value to clients, but we need to say it in a way that actually lands with them. And that is the hardest part.
Totally, yeah. And what are the typical sort of results that your clients are getting when they're working with you?
Sure. So if we want to talk about my experience as a copywriter, it's kind of just, again, those basic conversion numbers. So if I'm working for a B2B marketing department and enterprise SaaS company, we're looking at opt-ins to webinars and lead magnets. We're looking at conversion rates on the page. We're looking at how much traffic my blog post has brought in, or whether or not I helped them rank on the first page of Google. So when it comes to my one-to-one client work, it's very conversion oriented. But when I'm on the coaching side of my business and I'm working with service-based businesses who want to launch their business or they need more high-paying clients, I'm basically taking them from someone who knows what they want to do, they know the service they want to offer, to branding and marketing themselves and learning the sales process so that they can get their first high paying client. Because I believe if you, as a new service provider, can get one client that's paying you a really good rate, a quote unquote high ticket rate, you can rinse and repeat that process until you are making your desired income. So that's really where I focus with my coaching students, with the people who take my courses. And the results there have just been nothing short of incredible because it's helping people literally leave their 9 to 5 job, replace their 9 to 5 income. Some of those students have actually gone on to work in-house full time for companies, making six-figure salaries, even though they initially got into this because they wanted to do one-to-one client work. So that's what I find so beautiful about it, is that it's so flexible. Everybody's story is so different in terms of the services they want to offer and where that's going to take them along their career journey.
Totally. And when it comes to your own business, I know we spoke a little bit about this when we were in the green room, but I would really like to know, and for the audience, if you can share this, like what are some of the struggles that you're facing in your business before? Not necessarily now, but like in general, when you're building your business and stuff, because obviously this is something that you are now probably overcame that and you're helping a lot of people with that. So
Yeah, if we want to talk about struggles overcome, I mean, I could write an entire book because at every level of the game, there's going to be some huge boulder that you're trying to push uphill. So for me in my sales career, before I even became a quote unquote entrepreneur, my problem was being a female in a very male dominated space, which was technology sales. So I kind of worked my way up in that career, but I always felt a little bit uncomfortable and that my choices were so limited. Like I dealt with a lot of inappropriate behavior from men. And then instead of being able to handle it the way I wanted to handle it, I couldn't because I was a W-2 employee and had to conduct myself in a certain way. So breaking free of that 9 to 5 constraint and gaining the autonomy that freelancing allowed. Like the first time that I got paid and it wasn't from an employer, the first time I got paid from a client directly was the most empowering feeling. So that was the first hurdle was just me being in my 9 to 5, sitting there dreaming, how am I going to make money without being in a 9 to 5 job? Once I became a freelancer and I was doing copywriting, my client was similar, or my struggle was similar to every freelancer, which is how do I get clients? And then how do I get clients that I really like and that pay me well? So luckily, I had that sales experience to know that it really was just a matter of pitching and positioning myself in a certain way. When I went to go create my digital products business, I was ever because that was the first time I had to put myself out there online to market my business. Because as a service provider, I did really well with cold pitching my services and landing high paying clients. I was making a full-time income, replaced my 9 to 5 income. That's all great. But when it came to marketing my digital products, I had to create a YouTube channel. I had to start my own email list and I had to start showing up online presenting my writing, my thoughts, my personality, my struggle, my experiences to strangers on the internet. And that was really, really tough. So those are just the kind of the struggles that come to mind in terms of what I've overcome. And as you probably know, Tony, we're just faced with more and more obstacles as we grow and grow and grow. New devils to new levels, as they say. So I could talk about that all day long.
excellent. Yeah, thanks a lot for sharing that part of your story. And then also, in terms of your goals, for your business for next maybe year, what's your goal for that, please?
So I'm in an interesting transition period in my business because I'm wanting to incorporate AI and teaching people how to use AI into all of my methodology. So I would say what I taught people before was more of a manual process of pitching and positioning yourself and, really had to think through a lot of things. Whereas now, because I'm offering like a custom GPT, everything I'm teaching people now can be done so much faster via chat GPT and the custom GPTs and prompts that I provide. Now, that doesn't mean that you will rely on AI to market and communicate and sell in your business. It just means that you can have a leaner team and you can do it faster. So that's the pivot that I'm in right now. And where I see my business going in the future is really equipping people to use these AI tools to their advantage without sounding like AI, right? To have it really pull the differentiators out for it to sound human, for it to really represent them and their story without sounding like AI jargon. I think that's the biggest challenge that we're all going to have as marketers moving forward because, quite honestly, I can tell immediately when I see AI writing and marketing, and eventually people are going to catch up too. And that's not to say that, oh, AI is writing garbage and that you can tell there's inaccuracies. No, it's good writing, but we're going to start to feel collectively what was written by a human versus what wasn't, because there's a tone and a style that ChatGPT produces. And if you don't put your personality into it, you're going to blend into all the garbage eventually. So I'm trying to get ahead of that and teach people how to use these tools in my business. Um, I'll continue to help people transition from their 9 to 5 job to their own service-based business. That's always going to be a goal of mine. It's always going to be something I teach. And when I think long term in terms of like my vision, what I would love to do is build an asset. This is like my personal dream. So I have this great email list where I'm able to communicate directly with, 8 to 10,000 people. I would love to build that into just this asset where people are coming to get the best information. And if I wanted to maybe sell that email list one day and pursue a creative project, that's like a long-term goal of mine, right? Because I think as marketers and people who are online, we build these YouTube channels, these followings, and the dream tends to be like scale, 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 grow, 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 get employees. For me, that's not really my goal. Like, what I would love to do is actually sell my email list as like this, valuable asset, and then maybe just pursue something creative, because I'm a Christian. I love talking about my faith and sharing, my journey. And if I could just do that, that would be my dream. But no matter what, I'm doing what I love. I don't know where God's going to take me, but there's so many possibilities with what we're doing online. So yeah, I know that was like a vomit of all the thoughts in my head, but it's really timely because I've been thinking a lot about that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that as well. And on top of that, like I know that you, Christine, you have this really successful YouTube channel. So can you tell us, please, how did you what took you to actually build this?
Okay, really weird story with YouTube because I never set out to build a YouTube channel. What happened was I knew I needed a way to market my online course and my digital products. I wanted to do blogging. I am a writer. I majored in English in school. I became a copywriter. Writing has always been my dream. So, blog writing was like my initial plan. However, because I deliver blog writing services to clients, I could not do it for myself. I just didn't have the time, or I'd be literally producing, these 5,000 word blog posts both for my clients and myself. I just didn't have the capacity as both a service provider and somebody selling digital products. So, what I did was I said, okay, what's the quickest way I can get this information out without having to write? Because I'm already doing this for clients. So, I started recording myself saying the stuff, which is for me faster to verbalize than to write. Um, I literally uploaded these videos to YouTube just as like a repository. It was not supposed to be like, hey, look at my YouTube channel. It was like storage, and I plan to just embed the videos on my website and drive traffic to my website. But believe it or not, those crappy videos that were just so unprofessional, they did start to get views. And once I saw maybe like 97 views on a video, I'm like, okay, well, that's 100 people that just consumed the information. So should I keep going? And then it really just came a matter of weekly uploading. They were very unprofessional in the beginning. They were not scripted. They were really not edited. There was all the mistakes. And then as I realized my main traffic sources were coming from those YouTube videos, that's when I doubled down and I said, let me actually learn how to really upload a YouTube video, how to do an intro, how to script it, how to make an end screen. I eventually hired editors. I got a coach that helped me with, optimizing my YouTube strategy. So I have about 20,000, I have over 20, I just hit the 20,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, which in the realm of YouTube videos like isn't a gigantic following, but because I serve such a specific niche, I have a very engaged small audience where the people who are listening to me really can use the information. It's very relevant to them and their business. And that has been my main marketing channel these past 4 or 5 years. And it's done really well for me. So I can't recommend YouTube enough because I believe it is going to be the future for all marketers and service-based businesses because video is how you build connection with people. And I think that's why my business became profitable fast was because I was unintentionally building this rapport with people that wouldn't have been possible if I just stuck to writing.
Wow. Fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and 20,000, you're probably like in 1%, top 1%, when it comes to numbers in your niche for sure. And yeah, great YouTube channel. So if people, sorry, if people want to actually find out a little bit more about you, how they can do that?
Sure. So if you just visit paidcopywriter.com, all of my information is there. I think what's probably most relevant to your audience is going to be downloading my personal brand playbook for free. It's on my website. And basically, if you want to start promoting your business online, building that connection with people, generating leads from your online presence, but you don't know what to post, that playbook will help you. I give you a short training on personal branding for businesses, and then I give you an Excel sheet that basically prompts you and allows you to see, what type of posts would be great for your business, how to pull your personal stories out of you so that you know what to write in a way that resonates with your target audience. So definitely visit paidcopywriter.com. I have a paid copywriter YouTube channel. I am paid copywriter across all the platforms, so you can find me there. And if you're on Instagram, send me a direct message because that's usually how I like to quickly go back and forth with people and have a chat and have that interaction. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And just before we go, like if there is any question maybe that I didn't ask you, any tip that you want to share or anything else, like what would that be?
Ooh, that's a good one. So well, let me ask you, Tony, are people who consume your content, are they in like the beginning dreaming phases of their business, or are they in the I want to scale and make more money phase, or is it a mix of both?
Mixture. Yeah, yeah, it's probably a mixture of both. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to speak to both. I'm going to give two tips to both sets of people. So if you are sitting here and you are listening to this in your 9 to 5, in the subway commuting to work, in your car commuting to work, and you're like, when is this ever going to end? How can I escape this misery? That's where I was when I was in my 9 to 5, dreaming of doing something entrepreneurial. I didn't know if it was possible. If that is you, I want to tell you this. You have a set of skills, experiences, opinions, and passions that if we are able to craft them and mold them and tell a story about those experiences and interests, can provide incredible value in the marketplace and allow you to start a service-based business, whether that's Pinterest management services, photography services, web design, copywriting, marketing, coaching, anything that requires that one-to-one client work. You have something, you just don't realize it right now, and find a coach that's going to help pull that out of you and help you make your dream a reality. That would be my biggest advice to somebody who's still in that dreaming phase and isn't sure if it's possible. And if you are in those initial phases where you're like, I'm doing the thing, but this isn't profitable yet, or this isn't where I want to be financially, I would just say, number one, your location of where you are marketing your services. Are you on a platform or in groups or targeting people that actually have the budget to work with you? I think a lot of us focus on the offer. It's like, here's my thing. Who wants this? But you have to make sure that your thing actually appeals to people who are willing to invest in those services at a certain price point. So my thing is just trying to find the higher ticket offers and work with a smaller amount of people versus trying to appeal to everybody, gain a massive following. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be easier for you to land 1 to 2 high paying clients and become profitable versus trying to sell a $25 or $50 low ticket service or offer to 1,000, 5,000 people. And that kind of goes back to what we were saying, Tony, with the YouTube audience. It's like in the realm of YouTube where, I'm consuming beauty content and celebrity gossip stuff, like these people have over 100,000. They have like 300,000 minimum. But for what I'm doing as a service-based business, I don't need the vanity metrics of 100,000 subscribers. I need a small following of really engaged people who see that I'm the right service provider for them. So that would be my advice for the second category.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you, Christine, so much for this words of wisdom. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for watching and listening to this episode. And yeah, I will share these links in the description as well. And if you like this episode, drop us a like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. And see you all in the next episode. All the best and bye bye.